today we are going to be talking about creating a benefit strategy that drives employee engagement. So for those who don't know, my name's Amanda.
My name's Beth.
Awesome. So we wanted just to give a few stats this morning too. And I was quite surprised when just looking these things up. So 73% of full-time employees expect 24/7 access to complete their enrollment tasks and manage their benefits. Also, 80% they expect to do this online. And unfortunately, over 50% of employers don't offer the service. So you could only imagine the amount of time is being spent and paper shuffling going along.
Absolutely. And in addition to that, only 10% of employers actually think their employees really understand the health benefits that they're being offered, which is terrifyingly low, because 83% of employees say health insurance is extremely important in deciding whether to take, stay, or even change jobs.
Yeah, so I guess I'm just thinking about, how can we put that power and allow employees to manage those benefits in their own hands, but at the same time making sure that they are not being misinformed, they've got all the right information in front of them to make those decisions about types of benefits that is available to them, that there aren't any errors, because nothing is more painful than having to make that correction through payroll. And then obviously missed deadlines. So making sure that employees are being aware, that they're being informed, and that they know when they need to enroll in these benefits, so that that information can get to the carriers, and that they're obviously contributing to a plan.
Right, exactly. I mean, obviously the solution to that is communication. Communication is really key, not only during open enrollment season, but really for year-round awareness. So my advice is to communicate any employer contribution limits, teach employees how to calculate costs to them, also communicate and set up notifications for deadlines. Again, that year-round communication, and then make the most important questions easy to answer.
Right. So, I mean, just in general, just having these conversations, just, having a team to manage as well, these questions do come up from time to time. So I can only imagine other questions that are coming up from employees, but what are my cost savings? If I've got 4 different medical plans that I can choose from, but I want to know what's it going to cost me, or how much is my employer contributing to maybe a certain plan? What are the benefits of an HSA? Do I want to contribute more to my 401k? Or I want to be able to see those types of employer contributions as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are exactly the types of questions that you need to be prepared to answer, because you're going to be asked them. So your biggest focus should really be on reducing paperwork and data inaccuracies, and really providing options for employees to enroll themselves and showing them the step-by-step process on how to do so.
Yeah, and I think just accomplishing these things will ensure your employees will obviously understand then the type of benefit that's being offered to them. Also making them aware that there are options, and ensuring that you're able to manage that process for your employees as well using an online tool. I get a kick out of when people on our team, they don't know that we offer benefits. Well, we do, and we go through it during new hire orientation. But heck, that was 3 months ago, and now I'm eligible, and I've forgot about that, because I've just spent the first 3 months trying to learn my job and get to know everyone and understand the culture and everything that comes with just learning a new position at a new company. So of course, I'm probably not going to remember at all what benefits are available for me. So I think just, finding a tool that is easily driven through a wizard, so employees are not missing any steps at all. They have all that information right in front of them with an online portal, and just making the process simple for yourself as the employer and for the employee. Because at the end of the day, you're managing a company or a department, and you want to make it as easy as possible by streamlining some of these things, because open enrollment should not be stressful at all, but it can take a lot of your time if you don't have a process implemented, or your door is just a revolver because employees are constantly coming in wanting to know what's available for them.
Right.
How much too much came out of my paycheck. I don't want this deduction anymore. So just having some sort of product that will present that for them, and they can make that decision for themselves right then and there, and they can accept or decline.
Right. Well, their stress is your stress is ultimately what it comes down to as well. So, and after all, workplace stress accounts for $190 billion in healthcare costs per year.
Wow.
That's a lot of money. So we love to lighten the load where we can by making work and life a little easier for everybody, both managers and employees.
Yeah, and we want everyone just to take away that our conversations that Beth and I really have with prospects or clients in general these days is really just, how do I manage that employee experience better? What tools can I streamline to make it easier? Payroll is just almost is a given. So that's not even a topic of conversation 9 out of 10 times. It is more of, what can I do that my employees can be engaged? How can I just streamline a process, again, from recruitment to retirement for those employees? I mean, let alone, our conversation today, we haven't said one thing about payroll at all. So our conversations and our messages, and really just the key differentiator that we're working on, is how can we just make things easier for our clients, whatever the case may be, for their employees.
Absolutely.
So, we've done a lot of talking today, just giving some stats, what we see with conversations that we have with current clients and with prospects, and what are they looking for to automate when it comes to their processes and employees. But we really want to achieve something for you all and provide a solution for you, and ultimately provide engaging benefits, enrollments, and obviously the management piece of it.
Yeah, and it's time, it really is, it's time to put the power to manage all of these benefits that we've been talking about into the hands of the employees. And I know some of you are thinking, that sounds like a pretty big headache and a pretty big task, but let me show you how easy it is to increase benefits unit usage at your company without all the chaos.
Yeah, so Beth's going to log into one of our newer solutions that we've been using. It is a single source product, and today she's just going to show us really kind of what that experience like. So if there's any questions in the meantime, feel free just to drop that into the chat box, and we can answer them along the way. And I'll just kind of keep my eye out on them as Beth is doing a walkthrough.
Okay. So the first thing we're going to look at is going to be really what the employee is going to see when they first log in. Sorry, that's all right. So this is going to be accessed through an employee self-service portal. So hopefully most of you are accustomed to an employee self-service portal, but this does wonders for communication that we've been talking about, which is key to eliminating all of that paperwork and data inaccuracies. So this is going to be the employee's landing page. So one thing about this system in particular is that it's very customizable and it can adapt to your needs. So everything that you're seeing today is going to be set up exactly for your company. So here on this landing page is my example. I just have a welcome message, hey, it's time for open enrollment. I also have an enrollment guide. This could be an internal document that you use to just basically make sure they're reading through and acknowledging that they're being offered these benefits. Again, that could be any link that you want to put on there. Over here, if you have an FSA, an HSA, any type of third-party account or vendor, I should say, you can add a link there for easy access for your employees too. Again, we're making it easy for them. And then one of my favorite features of this is actually our countdown. So one of the biggest obstacles that HR managers and business owners face is making sure people enroll in time. And then, you will have those few that trickle in when open enrollment's over and asked to be added onto plans. So this communication right here is going to let them know, hey, 74 days left to enroll or before enrollment ends. And then also, we have the ability to send out email reminders of, hey, it's time, you have yet to enroll, don't forget. It's a complete customized workflow. So as Amanda mentioned earlier, this is actually a wizard-driven format, so it's going to make it very easy for employees to go through. And they can go through this anytime, anywhere. If they need help from HR, they could do it in the office with you, but if they want to do it with home with their significant other, they can certainly do so they can look at costs together. So on this, again, I'm just going to go next through this wizard format, but first I can actually put in my beneficiaries and dependents. So if I have a Carrier Connect set up and I have a life insurance policy, I can actually set up who my beneficiaries are through here, as well as I can list who my dependents are that are going to be receiving medical coverage. So you can log all of that information before you even begin, so then you can tie those benefits to those specific individuals. One thing that we're seeing more and more often is actually wellness programs and tobacco usage. So if your plans do offer premium reductions, we can track that as well. It's literally just a check of the box, and then that premium will be adjusted accordingly. So next, before they really go into their selection of what they want, they see this cost analysis, and you'll see right here, there's actually going to be a breakdown of what it would look like for the employee if they were to select it. So they can see that ahead of time and really go through what's all being offered. Some of these, of course, are calculated based off of selection, but again, this is just a good overall look at it before they start. So that if this is a current employee who's going through open enrollment again, you could either say, yes, I can keep my current elections. You can allow them just to do it so they don't have to go through the whole process, or you can make them select everything over again. So that makes it easy for those current employees as well. So now we're just going to kind of look at what it takes to make these selections and just how easy it is. So for this employee, I'm going to say that they do want to contribute to their 401k. And this company I have set up, I have to where they can contribute to a standard or a Roth 401k. So say I want to do 2% to both. You can now see right here, it's actually going to tell me what my elected cost would be. So obviously that's going to be based off of salary amounts. And then up here, I can change my options to see per pay, per month, or per year. For medical, this employee is actually eligible for 2 different plans. So I can select which one I want. This is a high deductible premium plan or this PPO Silver. And for those of you that are ACA compliant, this coverage waive feature is very important because obviously that's going to flow right over to our 1095s to reflect that declined coverage. We can also build in waive reasons if you want to track that. So maybe this employee is covered through their spouse's insurance. They can obviously select that here. But I'm going to go ahead and say that this employee is selecting this high deductible plan, and he needs to have it for his family. So I have, actually, let's go ahead and do just our child here. So I have that, you can now see what the cost is going to be for him to cover himself and his employee. Now, if he says, okay, no, actually, I only need employee, this is an employer provided benefit, so he has no cost. So if you have multiple dependents built in, then it's going to actually let you show you what the cost is going to be as you select more individuals to cover. Dental, again, a lot of these plans are the exact same. You can say, you know, coverage waived, but I do want to show how this HSA is dependent on a high deductible health plan. So a high deductible health plan is the only thing that an HSA can be tied to. And if I had selected on my medical plan back here, well, it's going to make me select that. If I had actually selected this PPO Silver, it is not going to allow me now to elect this HSA because it is tied to having a high deductible health plan. So the system is very intelligent in knowing what they can select and what they can't select based off of current selections. So that's why that wizard-driven format is really important, because it walks you through those priorities and doesn't allow employees to enroll in things they're not eligible for. So life insurance, again, we talked about those beneficiaries earlier. If I had those built in, I could actually select who my beneficiary is down here. As I continue to go through this wizard, we're going to see these green checkboxes. That just basically means that I have completed that part of it. So I'm just going to skip right through to my benefit confirmation, say I don't need to enroll in any of that. I'm just going to go right down here. It's actually not going to let me submit this to my HR department until I've completed everything. So there's one thing that I need to do, and that is to acknowledge my initial document. So I'll have to go back here and sign my acknowledgement. And so now I should be able to go back and submit my information to everybody once that's adjusted. So now I can go back through, I can see what my deduction costs are going to be, I can see what I've been elected to and what I've waived to make sure that I didn't mistakenly choose something or not choose something. Again, we can do this from home, we can do this from work, anytime, anywhere, and then I simply just submit my benefits. And once that happens, then the HR department receives a notification, or the elected workflow personnel, and then they'll be able to approve it, and it goes right through. So you can just check that person right off your list, figuratively, and then that will flow right through to our carriers. So that's just a brief glimpse into what automating benefits enrollment can do for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and also just to highlight the fact that, yes, that flows over then to, let's say, your carrier, but because the solution is has other modules built into it, such as payroll, there is no now additional keying this back into your payroll system.
Right.
That information is already there. It's already populated, and it's ready to go for obviously the needs of processing payroll,
Right.
which again just helps reduce that paper and that time and manually keying something in, and then maybe then incorrectly keying something in.
Right, exactly. And you know, no losing forms, those paper copies of people submitting that stuff in and sending it into carriers, that's all eliminated by doing so as well.
So, you know, we've gone over quite a bit today, and that kind of really just wraps up what we wanted to just share with everyone. So if there's any questions, you know, we'll just leave it open for a couple minutes, but other than that, we thank everyone for your time, and again, feel free to reach out to us. We'll have some follow-up stuff for you guys after this presentation. So again, we'll just give it another minute or so if you have any questions. Otherwise, we, you know, thanks for chiming in today. Oh, thanks, Matt. When an employee submits and it goes to everyone, can you explain would be notified when an employee submits? Can you set up notifications for multiple people, department supervisors?
Yeah. So the system is designed for a customized workflow. So this information goes to who you want it to go to. If it needs to go to multiple supervisors, it can. But really, you can go through an approval process there. You probably more than likely only have one person that's approving these items. Generally, when you talk about that, only one person wants to put up with open enrollment. So it is customizable, but yes, you select exactly who it needs to go to. So the wrong manager isn't getting this information.
Right, exactly. And again, just the system as a whole, being able to set up some of those workflows if supervisors can only see a certain department, or maybe they only see a certain group of employees. What can they see? What can they approve? You know, again, completely customizable to how you have your organization set up. So, okay, I think we'll just call it a day. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Otherwise, you'll, you know, we'll follow up with anything outstanding to see if there's something we can do to help streamline your business. So thanks again for signing in today for talking about, you know, a benefit strategy that drives employee engagement. Bye, everyone.